Hi, this is Mongoose introduction. Here I'll explain how to work with Mongoose and what is this. And I opened this folder. Okay, so open this folder and let's create some file which is called server.js. And Mongoose. So this is a special library to work with database more easily with Mongo database more easily than default database, because default database you work with objects, you save them to specific places and etc. So but mostly you need to you do many operations. So this MongoDB, this Mongoose will help to do this. So it is library. It is for validation, casting, and business logic. So in MongoDB, it is somehow problematic, but with using Mongoose, you are making it more easier to work with it and more clear and less errors. So to do this, we will need this Mongoose. So let's try to use this. Okay, and this is the code. So first of all you will need this code, require Mongoose. It will connect to some client, and okay, so first of all you will need this code. We'll go to this corresponding folder. I open cd web playground lessons web playground, then I write cd mongoose. So it is name of folder. Actually you are not required to save it as is here. You can call it a different name, or you can use already predefined names, already used folder. So the next thing is we write here npm install, okay, save mongoose. Okay, we installed it. Now we don't need this part, won't be done. Then we will have to use this one, for example. So actually it is already here. So as you remember, this is the IP address of your server. This is port, it is by default port, and this is the collection which you use. And we write mongoose connect something like this. Then for example, this is some object. We define the model and the string cat. What does it mean? Then we call some variable kitty, and it says new cat, and its name is zildijan, and we can do save then console log now. What does it mean? Actually we are creating in default MongoDB, you wrote this without this mongoose. Okay, let's find Mongo Express. We will find the example which was for using things like this. Okay, post. Okay, and it was something like this. So let me copy it here. So actually this is for request. Let's comment it out. Username. So you specify in previous versions there was username, user age, and user. You create user object and then you save it with insert one. So this part is almost same. Sameness is also something like this. You would write something like this. Request. We can also create here const cat and write here. So the main thing is this. You create here some scheme. So databases in MongoDB, for example, you can use something like this, but also the next one, for example, in this here we will remove this age. So actually this will work. and this will be name, username, so remove this one. For example, you can use this code, and next time you can use some kind of this code. Okay, so there is some name, and you create some user. Also some username. So imagine that you have two parts of code, and they have these two logics, and I will explain it. So for example, const collection request. Okay, so I think okay, we don't locals. Oh, this is some. So it is already same, but for example here function error result, and here for example we will not use name but fname, for example. So you see the difference. So you use same collection, but you save the data in different formats. So one of them is name, and this one is fname. And what does it mean? What is bad with this? It means that, for example, you have two places where you can store the data, and these two places store the data differently, and it means that you have two types of data. So one of them will have name and others will have fname. So on some pages you will have errors because of someone created fname, but others tried to use a name. Maybe it's you imagine it very rare case. So you think like, oh, it can be, but it's not common. But it is common because when you develop some big application, there are many parts of code that are not decided, or they not you cannot see all the codes. So it will have sometimes people will miss something, or for example in code there was an error. So by default you use fname, but someone forgot n, and it's stored as fame. So it means that in database there will be some data which is called by fame. So, and that user may not achieve his goals because his data was stored incorrectly. So to prevent this, we can use Mongoose. Mongoose it is trying to make the data same. So you will use same data, and you will not make an errors. And you will understand what are the restrictions and how you should store your code. You should store your data. So this is example of how to use it in MongoDB. So you create objects and save it in insert one. But the problem is that you can make errors. With Mongoose you make these errors much less time, because by code you are restricting it. You are saying it, use it only in this way. Why? Because for example you see here, this is scheme, Mongoose model cat, and here name string, and it means that it accepts names. So there should not be any model except this name. So it also must be string. So you cannot write here numbers or something different. It is also important. Why? Because some data can be of different types, and new developer can make changes that can affect all system. So this is the example of Mongoose. Okay, what does it do? It makes it creates this scheme. Okay, sorry, this scheme. It is called cat. So if you want to store any data table cat, it will be stored as it will have to have name and this when you create it, you create it as object of class cat, and you have to send this data, and if you save something different, it will show an error. Okay, let's try to do this. Will it work? Not server just. So this is not server, actually this is some code. Okay, will it work or not? Okay, so it says okay, so we need okay, so we need this. Okay, and then okay, listen. We make listen, and we make here some code. Okay, up.get. Test. So by default they all have test collections. Let's say, so we need this collection cats. Okay, Mongo client is not defined. Okay, would not need this one. Ah. Okay, so you cannot use Mongoose code before it is connected. So you have to, uh, as I explained to some of you, it was async await. So when you finish this code, it doesn't stop this part of code. So because of this, it makes an error. Okay, so let's see. We are listening, and we have localhost 3000 default, so we do not. Okay,